Hey guys, I just want to make a quick video about customer complaints. Now, we got one today. We don't get them all too often. We're pretty good about taking care of things before anything becomes a problem, just by trying to communicate with our customers. But what happened was I had a customer who's fairly new with our services. They're going into their first winter service with us, and we're by there today and doing a basic winter service or so. Some properties were mowing, other ones were not. Just depends on the amount of growth that's on the yard. We try to really just look out for what's best for the yard overall, and really give everyone a really good cut just before Christmas. So we don't work Christmas week, we work the week before. So some of these yards, if we think they're not going to fill out enough to give them a good cut just before Christmas, we're going to let them, we're not going to mow it on that particular service, or for this week's service. If they're on a bi-weekly schedule, we'll let them go for another week, and then when the grass fills up, we'll go through, cut it down, leave a really nice cut. That way it looks good for anyone you might have over coming over for the holidays. But anyhow, aside from that, they called us, and they've always been really awesome to work with. I've actually really enjoyed working with this particular customer, and we left their gate open. Now, this was, I believe, the second or could be the third. They have a dog, and they let them out back to run around. They're in a nice little neighborhood there, and a lot of people are walking their dogs around, so dog friendly community overall. But what happened was, since we left the gate open, their dog got out when they got home. Now, a lot of guys, kind of might brush it off or not think much of it, but it's really important that we remember to close these gates for this specific reason. I completely understand where this customer comes from, and customers in general, or anyone who works with a lawn care provider. You're allowing someone to come into your home, working around your house when you're not there, and trusting them to make sure that the gate stays closed, because when you let your dogs out, you don't want them running off or getting into trouble, or you just want to avoid that scenario. So I really feel for my customers. If we let a gate open, I always feel pretty bad about that, because I have my own dog, and I wouldn't want to worry about him getting out, or having getting in a dog fight with another dog, someone else who's walking theirs. And that was almost this scenario where their dog had gotten out and approached another dog. I don't think anything really came of it, but it's something that could have been prevented, and it was my fault, 110%. I had someone else working with me. I typically don't work with someone on my Thursday routes, so I'm always good about it myself, making sure the gates are closed. Every now and then, we might forget it. Mistakes do happen. We get a lot of things on your mind. It's easy to think you closed it, or maybe you closed it and it didn't latch all the way, and the dog's still able to get out even after that. Anyhow, the employee who was working with me didn't close the gate all the way. I didn't go back behind him and double check it. I know we're supposed to leave their gates closed, make sure that they're closed, because they do let their dog out in the backyard and let them run around. If it's not closed, they get out. So if your customer tells you this is a problem, we always try to notate their account, so it's on their job description and job notes that, hey, make sure they close the gate. They have animals. So yeah, they weren't happy about that. I completely understand why. I apologize. There's the only thing we can do is just to think about it, the next time we're visiting the property, just to double check, take that split second to make sure that the gate's closed, so you can avoid situations like this. So we're not perfect. We do make mistakes, but we also do our best to try to solve them and prevent them from happening again. So I guarantee the next time we go by there that their gate's gonna be closed. So just a little food for thought. You know, I know I got a lot of lawn guys on here, so just take that into consideration if you have a client who's upset about you leaving a gate. And it might not be a big deal to you, but from the customer's perspective and from where they stand, like that's their animal, their pet. Their pets are always a part of the family. Like that means a lot to them. So understand that if they're upset with you, try to see from their point, and get that, and just be more mindful about it. So as long as you try to prevent that from happening again and keep it from happening again and make that effort, you don't run into that issue too often. And like, it's not that this happens often to us, but I always talk about how we're trying to do better and better on this and that, but at the same time, we make mistakes too. So we're not perfect. We're gonna mess up. We might break a fence, or we might run into something, or chop down a plant that needs to be chopped down. Little mistakes happen like that, and the difference is how you handle it. Make sure you're taking care of that. You're fair with the customer. You're upfront with them, and you just have good communication overall. So just something to think about, guys. Hope you enjoy the rest of your Thursday, and have a good Friday. One more day left in this week, then the weekend. All right, later, y'all.